Thanks very much for staying with us. The International Conference on AIDS and STIs in Africa began today in Durban this week. Deputy President David Mabuza will speak at the opening ceremony just after 4 p.m. today. Let's get more on this. And across to our reporter, Simphiwe Mkhanya, who is indeed in Durban for us. A very good afternoon to you, Simphiwe. We understand that the Deputy President is to reaffirm African unity in his AIDS conference address and his capacity as chairperson of the SA National AIDS Council. What else are we expecting to hear from the Deputy President this afternoon?
Indeed, Flo, you'd recall that just a few weeks ago when the Deputy President was here, he did speak sharply about the issue of teenage pregnancy, saying that it is a shame that the number of young girls in the country are reported, being pregnant. I'm going to step out of the shot for just a while, Flo, just to give you a sense of what is currently happening. The main event is obviously expected to start at about 4 o'clock, but the visuals that you see are very unusual for a conference of this magnitude in terms of the size. Recall as well that this conference is going to be taking place virtually, so you don't see a lot of people attending in terms of those who are normally participants in the conference. But to take your question forward, Flo, I can certainly tell you that the Deputy President, in his capacity as the chairperson of SANEC, will officially open today's conference, which is going to be a week-long conference, really taking stock of the achievements that have been done, both at government level as well as civil society levels in terms of trying to address the issue of the HIV and AIDS pandemic in the country. Of course, we know that South Africa has got one of the highest numbers of HIV prevalence in the world, Flo, and also KwaZulu-Natal, in fact, is one of the provinces that is actually leading in terms of the number of people that are living with the virus. A bit of a disturbance for now, Flo, because of the audio inside. I'm going to step out of the shot again once more just to give our viewers a sense rather of what is currently happening. Very empty, Flow. You'd recall that about 3-4 weeks ago, the very same venue where we are, which is the Durban Inkosi Albert Luthuli International Convention Center, was hosting the Intra-African Trade Fair, which was attended by thousands of people from across the continent. But fast forward to now, Flo, very few people are physically here because this event, of course, is going to be held virtually. And one of the reasons, of course, Flo, is the issue of the high number of the infections when it comes to the issue of COVID-19 in the country. The government taking a stance that they would rather have, this conference held virtually. Flo?
All right. And just a quick one in terms of a lot of talk around African issues at the moment. And of course, we know that the president was in West Africa on a state visit. And I see re-emphasizing that again with the deputy president talking about African unity during an AIDS conference. So it's interesting to see the link of what, I'd call this African agenda. Is that a sense that you're getting from this conference?
Indeed. Certainly, Flo, indeed. And of course, one of the issues that are going to be, spoken about sharply during this conference, Flo, is the issue of the COVID-19 impact in terms of how the country has been able to deal with the pandemic of the HIV and AIDS. Of course, that we've got one of the highest numbers when it comes to people who are on treatment. And health experts as well have been saying that the country has made great strides really in addressing the issue of HIV and AIDS. But in the past 2 years, Flo, the main focus or the main challenge has been that of the COVID-19. So we are expecting guests here to talk to us more about how the pandemic, which is the COVID-19 pandemic, has affected efforts of trying to really, deal decisively with the issue of HIV and AIDS infections, Flo.
All right, thanks very much, Simphiwe, to you. We'll certainly be catching up with you at a later stage when we do expect the president in the next hour, in fact, to be up on the podium with his opening address. So certainly we'll be in touch with you in just a few minutes. That is Simphiwe Mkhanya, who is, of course, as you can see, at the AIDS conference at the moment, just giving us a preview in terms of what we can expect then this afternoon. And we will be bringing you live visuals and the Deputy President's address at the AIDS conference as soon as we're able to do so. We do believe that it's supposed to be starting at around 15 minutes past 4 p.m. and at that stage we'll certainly take you right there live.